It's August and it's the Mid-Antrim 150. Some old names and some new faces turned up on the day. The spectators picked the best spots around the course from which to view the action for this, the 52nd running of this race over the 3.6-mile course. James Courtney holds the fastest lap record here from last year. Both Ray McCulloch and Joey Dunlop have recorded 15 wins at the course, and trebles, well, all the big names there. McCallum with 2, Joey and Johnny Ray both with 1.
It's pretty tricky there all round today because of the wet. There's the Dunbot road there is very greasy. There's a lot of cattle and stuff on it all year round, and the dirt sort of rises up out of it with the wet, but it's not bad. Elders is probably the trickiest part on it, wet or dry.
It's my local circuit. I just live a few miles away, and very short circuit, but good circuit to ride, makes for good racing. It's a fairly fast circuit, not very many slow turns, but yeah, it's a circuit I would enjoy riding on.
Well, I'm going to keep the wets on at the minute now, but if it starts to dry up, we're going to have to change. So we're getting other tyres on here at the minute, just in case. Like.
That was a difficult choice for the 125 riders. Slicks there for number 4, Robert Dunlop. Others more cautious. They had all gone for intermediates like Owen McNally, Gary Dines and Dennis McCulloch. Alan Drysdale on commentary.
The Super Kings 125 race is away, heading up towards Clough-Herpin for the first time. And into the Herpin, Owen McNally leads from Gary Dines, Dennis McCulloch and Robert Dunlop trying to go around the outside. Heading down the hill now towards the right-hander at Swans, coming out of Swans and on down towards the jump here at Alexander's. And Owen McNally is streaking away from Robert Dunlop. McNally, who won the race last year. Robert Dunlop, who won it the year before. So two quick men battling it out up front as they go on to the fastest part of the course, down towards Dunbot Corner. Machine streaming through there, but at Dunbot Corner, it's Owen McNally through the left-hander. From Robert Dunlop in second, Gary Dines in third, and Dennis McCulloch in fourth as they go down underneath the trees towards O'Hara's. And out of Brown's Farm, McNally leads. Dunlop second, Dines still third, McCulloch there in fourth. Up to Corby Corner for the first time. 90-degree left-hander and then accelerate hard up the hill. McNally leads, Robert Dunlop in second, Gary Dines third, Dennis McCulloch in fourth. Next up in fifth spot is Ricky McCready, followed by 7 Mark Curtin in sixth, 27 Yarn O'Holland in seventh there, and Brian Campbell in eighth as they climb the hill. Down to complete the opening lap, and Owen McNally is streaking away. What a lead at the end of the opening lap here for McNally. The rest of the field going through now. Robert Dunlop still second. Across the line and up to Clough-Herpin, out onto lap 2. Owen McNally leads. Robert Dunlop in second position. Robert Dunlop with 10 wins here at this circuit, and 7 of them, believe it or not, in the 125 class. It's Gary Dines still in third spot. Dennis McCulloch in fourth. Dines checks to see where McCulloch is as they head down. Oh, and that's Yarn O'Holland has gone down there. The riders managing to avoid him. And let's just have a look at that again. Yarno just losing it there on the way out of the corner.
Just before coming in there, Ricky McCready went a bit wide and I thought it had slipped up the inside and just put the power on too early and off it went.
Back then at Dunbot, and Owen McNally extending this lead again. Robert Dunlop's getting a little bit of a break too in second position, so the dice now on for third between Gary Dines and Dennis McCulloch. Heading down the trees towards O'Hara's, and now at Brown's Farm, that's McNally through, and McNally on up the road towards Corby Corner, braking hard there as he comes in. The machine just moving about a little bit on the road. Remember, the conditions still a mixture between wet and dry here. The battle for second, Dunlop, McCulloch and Dines. So McCulloch moves up through into third position there now and closing on Robert Dunlop. Over Elders, the 3 of them go through. But there's Owen McNally streaking through the right-hander that takes him up into the start-finish area to complete another lap. 3 Clough-Herpin, Owen McNally, the 30-year-old from Coleraine, goes through in the lead. Now the battle for second. Still Robert Dunlop from Dennis McCulloch and Gary Dines. 3 Honda machines, absolutely line astern. And here's the battle for fifth. Ricky McCready leading Brian Campbell, Mark Curtin and Ronnie Scott. The 4 of them having a real titanic battle there as they head off down the hill towards the right-hander at Swans, but back with McNally over Alexander's Leap. Beautiful there from Owen McNally. Now coming up, Robert Dunlop in second, passing Dennis Clancy there, number 49, who's already a lap down. Dunlop tucks himself down behind the frame, down the fastest part of the course now towards Dunbot, and McCulloch and Dines side by side as they come down there, and Dines may have moved ahead of McCulloch. Yes, Dines goes back into third position. McCulloch is fourth as they arrive down at Dunbot. This is the second place rider, number 4, 10 times winner here at Mid-Antrim. Robert Dunlop goes through, followed by Gary Dines, a 4 times winner, and then Dennis McCulloch behind him in fourth position. And back at Corby, Owen McNally lapping Tom Jackson there, 92 in the 200cc class, climbs up towards the top of the hill, away up towards Elders. Jackson there going up the hill behind him. But there's the battle for second, third and fourth. Robert Dunlop, Gary Dines and Dennis McCulloch climbing the hill. Now with the battle for fifth, and it's Mark Curtin, number 7, ahead of 60 Ronnie Scott and 99 Brian Campbell as they swing through the left-hander at Corby. Through Elders, it's Dunlop from Dines and McCulloch. Now into the start-finish area. Dines going up the inside of Dennis McCulloch through the right-hander and succeeds in going through. Superb move there by Gary Dines. At Clough-Herpin, past Tom Jackson, goes Robert Dunlop. Dines through in the inside, followed by McCulloch. Heading down towards Swans. And that Alexander's jumps. Robert Dunlop comes down. Gary Dines in third position. Dennis McCulloch behind him in fourth. Heading on down the very fast section of the course, and coming up now towards Fenton's on the approach to Dunbot, and that's still Dunlop, followed by McCulloch is back ahead of Dines there, so Dennis McCulloch has got back ahead of Gary Dines as they come down into the Dunbot corner. Dines drops down into fourth position, number 6. Tremendous racing here for this second spot. Robert Dunlop still holds at the moment, heading down towards O'Hara's, but at Corby Corner it's Owen McNally who streaks ahead of them. McNally, who has won 4 of the 7 races on the road this year, acknowledges the crowd there as he goes up the hill. He's way ahead. Robert Dunlop still second then. Dennis McCulloch closes in on Gary Dines, dropping back just a little bit of the pair from there as they climb the hill. Gary looks around to see where the 5th place man is, and next through at Clough-Herpin it's number 1 Owen McNally coming up behind number 80 there, Mark Waddell. Laps him, but here's Dunlop now in second position, McCulloch in third, and Dines has definitely fallen away from this pair. So is that an indication that Gary Dines has some sort of problems? But the battle now on for second position between Robert Dunlop and Dennis McCulloch. No sign yet there of Dines. There he is now, but he's 20-30 yards back and again shakes his head. McNally meantime goes through over Alexander's on the Bob Mullen Motors machine. Gets crouched down behind the fairing, heads down towards the Fentons, but here's Dunlop at Alexander's. McCulloch trying to close the gap on him. Both on Hondas, remember. McCulloch tucks himself down behind the streamlining. At Dunbot, McCulloch has closed that gap, just a little shade on Robert Dunlop. Through the left-hander, down underneath the trees, towards O'Hara's Farms, out over the bumps there as they disappear from view. And back now at Corby Corner, and it's number 1 Owen McNally coming up into Corby with number 23 Darren Crossett there, who has just lapped in behind him. Streaks through the left-hander, climbs the hill, powers the machine up there. Again, his fans wave to him, but here's the battle for second. Dunlop still holds off McCulloch, but McCulloch tagging away at him, trying to close in the gap here on Robert Dunlop. Robert checks around, and at the same time Dennis McCulloch checks to see where Gary Dines is, and here's Gary Dines, but Gary Dines is falling further and further back. That machine sounds a little bit flat, but no problems with this machine. It's McNally down through Wade's Mill into the right-hander, and then through the final left-hander that takes him past the flag there, and it's a win for Owen McNally. Tremendous win. Second position, it's number 4 Robert Dunlop. Third is Dennis McCulloch.
So confirmation there of that 1-2-5 result. No doubt about the winner, Owen McNally, and a close race for second. Robert just taking it in front of Dennis McCulloch. Gary Dines had to settle for 4th.
Just got a real good start there and got into the first corner leading, and I just kept my head down there for the first 2 or 3 laps to try and make a break. And got away about 10 seconds. Well pleased with that. So
This was a repeat of last year, really.
yeah, the 1-2-5 around here is really enjoyable to ride. You know, it's nice and light and it's easy flicking about. Whereas these bigger bikes are a wee bit harder to ride. You know, so the 1-2-5 for me definitely is the bike around here.
Brian Gardner was on the front row of the grid for the Lambert and Butler. Beside him, Jason Griffiths. There was Adrian McFarland and Adrian Archibald.
It's got very, very slippery, so it has. It's half dry and half wet. So to be honest, it's hard to know how fast or how slow at the first lap. So it's a wee bit of a lottery. We'll see how it goes.
So no improvement in conditions, says Brian Gardner. It's Alan on commentary.
Away they go. Adrian McFarlane almost jumped to start there, but gets away with it, but up to clock for the first time, sliding all over the place. Brian Gardner leads on the Yamaha. Jason Griffiths, another Yamaha, is second. Alex Donaldson in third. Adrian Archibald is fourth, but we have a faller, and that's Yuel Duncan. Let's look at it again from Gary Dines' machine as they go up in. Yuel just seems to lose the front brake there under braking. Away the front end goes, and down goes Yuel, but thankfully he's okay. He'll be out again, but here's the leaders now at Alexander's. Gardner still leads from Griffiths, from Alex Donaldson, from Archibald, John Donnan, and then Stuart Parkle in sixth position as they head on down towards Dunbot Corner, coming out of Fenton's into Dunbot. Brian Gardner still leads. Griffiths tries to go up the inside. Archibald goes through on the inside of Alex Donaldson to take third. John Donnan is fifth as they disappear down towards O'Hara's over the bumps underneath the trees. And at Corby then in the opening lap, it's 49. The Welshman Jason Griffiths now lives in the Isle of Man in the lead on the PJOK and Yamaha. Archibald is second, Donnan is third, Gardner fourth. And the rest of the field going through there. Owen McNally just ahead of number 41. Colin Rogers from Cumber. Adrian McFarlane ahead of McNally there as they go up the hill. Down from Wades Mill then to complete this opening lap. Jason Griffiths leads. Adrian Archibald in second. Neither of these riders have won at Mid-Antrim, so it could be a first-time win for them as they go through to complete this opening lap. John Donnan in third. Coming up towards Clough-Herpin, it's still Brian Gardner in fourth position. Alex Donaldson in fifth. Stuart Parkle there going up the inside. The leaders meantime go through Clough. The first three through, and Alex Donaldson runs wide, and Stuart Parkle has to go wide with him, so that means that Gardner is back through into fourth position. Here they come now, down towards Alexander's. Griffiths, Archibald, number 13. Number 12, John Donnan, in the black Yamaha there goes through in third position, heading down towards Fenton's. And the next grip going through there, Paul Cranston, and Paul Cranston looks down, his machine's smoking. It's been smoking all throughout practice, so it looks as though the motor's a little bit sick there. But at Fenton's, it's Griffiths from Archibald, from Donnan. Brian Gardner still in fourth. Now on the approach to Dunbot Herpin. Up the inside goes Adrian Archibald through into the lead. Griffiths drops to second position, and John Donnan closes in on Jason Griffiths for third. So Honda in front to Yamaha's second and third. And the first three pulling away there as they go down towards O'Hara's. Brian Gardner still in fourth. Out of Browns, it's Archibald, Griffiths and Donnan now coming up to Corby. Braking hard, a little shake of the head there from Adrian Archibald. You can even see his eyelids flicking up and down as he brakes. Griffiths through in second position. John Donnan, the black man, through in third. Accelerates up the hill. Griffiths lifts the hand of the bars to check where Donnan is. Out of Elders they come. Griffiths ahead of Donnan. And now down from Wades Mill, the fastest part of the course, coming up to the start-finish area. Into top gear, up to 130, 140 miles per hour, 150 miles per hour, then brake for that right-hander and through past the 30 miles per hour sign. That's been disregarded today. The road's closed, remember, but it's Adrian Archibald here in the lead as he arrives at Clough-Herpin. Archibald on his way to his first ever win here at the Mid-Antrim, and the slide there from Archibald. That's an indication of the tyres and the conditions. And look at John Donnan, he's sliding all over the way as well. So Donnan, I suspect there may be in wet tyres. The circuit is beginning to dry out, and the riders in all sorts of problems there going through. Slip sliding away they are, but down to Alexander's comes Adrian Archibald. A little bit of a flick from him as he comes in there. He won't want to do that over Alexander's. It's the most tricky part of this circuit. John Donnan goes through in third position. Griffiths still there in second as they disappear down the road towards Fenton's. But back at Corby, and it's still Adrian Archibald. Climbs the hill now. Very steep hill there as he climbs up out of sight towards Elders. Gary Dines now leads from 37, Barry Maguire. This group coming through. There's Paul Cranston still in there. And here's number 20, Jeff Downey, and Dean Cooper there behind him. And these guys are flying because they're moving up through the field. They've started in the second group, but they're catching the men ahead of them there. But back with Jason Griffiths at Clough-Herpin, John Donnan in third, Stuart Parkle in fourth, McFarlane is in fifth, Brian Gardner is in sixth, and running out wide there, that's Barry Maguire, and Dennis McCulloch nips through on the inside of him, and at the back of the bunch there, Owen McNally on the 250 Honda. Cranston meantime leads through from Jeff Downey, number 20, then it's Dean Cooper, and out of the race goes number 6, Gary Dines.
I would have more concerned about getting out in the 250 race later on the day, and with the conditions being so tragic, I was just afraid of something happening.
Started to slide about, but a few scares. I thought, right, I'll just pack in.
So Dines goes out in lap 3, McNally out in lap 4, and on lap 5 we have the leader Adrian Archibald at Corby Corner, accelerates up the hill, gets a signal, he's way out in front, and indeed he is. And here's the battle for second position, Jason Griffiths leading Stuart Parkle, both on Yamaha machines. Now in fourth spot it's Dennis McCulloch, followed by Adrian McFarlane, then Alex Donaldson just nipping up the inside of Brian Gardner there. Nice move that as they climb the hill. Brian Gardner snaking all over the place. At Elders, it's Griffiths from Parkhill. Parkhill getting ready to move round the outside and coming down into view from Wades Mill. Parkhill goes through into second position. Jason Griffiths in third. McCulloch is in fourth. McFarland in fifth as they come down to complete another lap. Into this very fast right-hander there. Past the 30-mile-per-hour signs, totally disregarding them this afternoon, through there about 130. At Clough-Herpin, Stuart Parkhill runs wide. Can Griffiths get up the inside to take second position back? No, he can't. He's still there. Dennis McCulloch still fourth as they accelerate down the hill. Towards Swans, fifth position then. That's McFarland, followed by Brian Gardner in sixth. And then it's Alex Donaldson. And another casualty.
Back tyres failed about the third lap, and I thought I had a flat wheel, but whenever we pulled in, there was no knobbles left on it, and that was basically it.
John Dunn out then as we come back with Adrian Archibald going through Dunbot, heading down towards O'Hara's for another time. And now the second position, it's Stuart Parkhill. Jason Griffiths is also out. Parkhill just lapping Tony Kerry there as he goes through. Up to third then goes Dennis McCulloch. McFarland is fourth and Brian Gardner is fifth, and Brian Gardner's rear seats coming apart there. But back at Corby, Stuart Parkhill in second. Dennis McCulloch is in third. Brian Gardner in fourth. McFarland in fifth, lapping Tony Kerry there as they climb the hill. Brian Gardner there with the rear seat coming apart. So will that cause him problems later on in the race? And here's Jeff Downey and Dean Cooper, and these guys started in Group B, and they are actually moving up through the field in corrected time. Remember, they start for safety reasons in two groups, 30 seconds adrift. These guys are now closing in on the leaders on corrected time. But Brian Gardner comes down from Wades Mill. Dennis McCulloch closing in on him, and Dennis McCulloch being closed in on by Adrian McFarland on the R1 Yamaha 1000cc versus 250cc. McFarland on the move, and there's the piece of Brian Gardner's seat away across Dennis McCulloch and Adrian McFarland. Hopefully that didn't harm them. At the hairpin, Brian Gardner now a little bit lighter as he goes through. McCulloch then in fourth position, Dennis McCulloch there. Adrian McFarland in fifth. Going down through Swans. Here's the second place rider, Stuart Parkhill. Remember, Adrian Archibald is already way down the road. Third position then, Brian Gardner. Fourth is McCulloch. Fifth is Adrian McFarland, number 7. McCulloch there in the Sanya 250 Honda. McFarland on the big Yamaha goes alongside him. Parkhill goes through. Let's look at Fens to see who is in fourth. There's Gardner in third. McFarland through to fourth. Second place man then, Stuart Parkhill, comes up to Dunbot. Brian Gardner coming down in third. Adrian McFarland behind him. Dennis McCulloch on the 250 Honda behind that. The three of them together there. The road's beginning to dry out as they head down towards O'Hara's over the bumps. And at Corby, Stuart Parkhill in second position. Brian Gardner in third spot. Fourth spot, it's Adrian McFarland, number 7, followed by Dennis McCulloch, number 2. Fourth and fifth positions climb away from Corby, heading up the hill. And coming down from Wades Mill, McFarland ahead of Dennis McCulloch. Very fast through here into the fast right-hander, and then a left-hander that takes them through the start-finish area. The last lap flag there going out for Parkhill in second and Brian Gardner in third spot as they go round Clough-Herpin for the last time in this race. McFarland goes through in fourth, Dennis McCulloch in fifth. Heading down towards the right-hander at Swans. Flat out all the way. Now coming down towards Alexander's Leap for the last time. Stuart Parkhill, the ex-motocrosser, ahead of another ex-motocrosser there. Brian Gardner goes through. That experience will play well over Alexander's Leap. McCulloch goes through in fifth position. McCulloch losing out on top speed there to McFarland. And now back with the race leader Adrian Archibald on the last lap at Corby, just coming up to lap 29. Pat Bradley, fully recovered from a huge accident at Tandragee earlier in the year. Archibald goes up the hill. Dave Willems there in behind Adrian Archibald has been lapped as well. Now here's Stuart Parkhill in second position, Brian Gardner in third, Adrian McFarland in fourth position, Dennis McCulloch right with him there. They're dicing it out for fourth and fifth on the road, but they may be caught in corrected time by Dean Cooper and Jeff Downey. Victor Gilmer there goes through on the Kawasaki, further down the field in eighth position. But here coming down to take his first win at the Mid-Antrim now, coming through Wades Mills through the final series of bends, it's Adrian Archibald, the Ballymoney man, goes through, wins on his local circuit. The checkered flag goes out, a win for Archibald there, goes across the line. Now the battle for second, and it's Stuart Parkhill holds off Brian Gardner.
So Adrian Archibald with his first win of the day. Stuart Parkle having a very good race to take second place. Brian Gardner was third. Dean Cooper up there in fourth place, followed by Adrian McFarland and Dennis McCullough.
Yeah, I got a fairly decent start and it's behind Jason and Brian Gardner. It took me about 2 laps to get past, but I was able to pull a wee gap then and just keep it steady the rest of the race.
Well, there's that man again, Adrian Archibald, on the front row of the 600cc grid. Beside him, Adrian McFarland. There's also Owen McNally, and completing the lineup, it's Ardglass man John Donnan. This is the first of 2 600 races to be run at the Mid-Antrim. They're just about ready to go, and once again, it's Alan on commentary.
The waves build up, away they go. Adrian McFarland getting the best start there from the middle of the grid as they head up towards Clockherton, but it's McNally who actually moves through into the lead. John Donnan coming up into second position. Looking back there, Brian Gardner coming through, Ryan Farquhar behind him. Heading down towards Swan, just looking back at the rest of the pack as they come down through this very fast right-hander. Then they head down towards Alexander's Jump. A fast left-hander taking it over 100 miles per hour. John Donnan coming down through. Behind him, it's Owen McNally. Donnan in the lead, McNally in second, Archibald in third, and that's Gary Jess in fourth position. The rest of the field stream down towards Fenton's Corner. On the approach to Dunbot, out of Fenton's, towards Dunbot they come. John Donnan leads. Archibald sneaks up the inside of McNally to take second position. Gary Jess is in fourth, Yule Duncan is in fifth, and Jason Griffiths in fifth. Looking back now at Brian Gardner as they come down into this O'Hara's Corner. Down through the trees, then round the left-hander, then into a right-hander, and then a very tight left-hander. Tricky section, they're in under the trees. The road's very wet throughout here, still treacherous. Coming through there, Brian Gardner leading the pack in behind. McFarland coming out of Browns now. It's Donnan in the lead. Archibald in second. Gary Jess in third. So 18 there. Gary Jess up into third position as they approach Corby for the first time. Donnan leads. Archibald second. Jess is third. Yule Duncan in fourth. Owen McNally in fifth. So the order really changing on this opening lap as these guys in this Regal 600 Supersport class sort themselves out. Over the top of the hill they go towards Elders. Through Elders, Donnan still leads from Archibald. Jess in third, Duncan in fourth. And Archibald through into the lead, coming down from Wade. Super move there through in the inside of John Donnan. The machine screaming along into the right-hander. And then the final left-hander to complete the lap. The Ballymoney man, Adrian Archibald, moves ahead of the Ardglass man, John Donnan, as they come up to the Clockherpin. Gary Jess, the man who's dominating the support race series, going through in third position. Yule Duncan from Lifford in fourth. Now looking back from McFarland, Jason Griffiths follows him out of Clockherpin as they head down towards the first right-hander on this section of the course, Swans. And now the leader back at Corby Corner. Adrian Archibald still leads from John Donnan. Gary Jess in third position. Yule Duncan from Lifford in fourth spot, followed by McNally in fifth position, and the Bob Mull Motors machine goes through the left-hander, climbs the hill. Owen takes a check back to see where Adrian McFarland is, and Adrian McFarland followed by Jason Griffiths. Down to complete the lap. Archibald extending the lead. John Donnan in second. John Donnan looks as though he's been caught by Gary Jess on the red machine there, in behind the black machine of John Donnan as they head up towards Clockherpin. Archibald canes the machine as he gets it down the gears. John Donnan behind him in second position. Gary Jess a little bit tighter line there in third spot. Duncan in fourth, McNally in fifth, and sixth position still Adrian McFarland. Down through Swans, the right-hander they go. Now up to Alexander's. Archibald in front, Donnan in second. Gary Jess across the leap in third there. Gary Jess moving up alongside John Donnan. So is he going to? He's through into second position. Magnificent move from Jess at Fenton's. It's Archibald. Jess in second. Donnan in third. Yule Duncan in fourth. McNally fifth. On the brakes at Dunbot. Archibald is still extending the lead. Gary Jess in second. John Donnan cranks in third, and Yule Duncan trying to close in on the pair of them there. Owen McNally dropping back a little bit, as is Adrian McFarland. At Corby again. Archibald on the Dowd Honda accelerates hard up the hill, checks back to see where the second place rider is. There he is, Gary Jess. This young man who formerly was a motocross rider ahead of another ex-motocrosser there, John Donnan. Down from Wades they come, across the line again. Adrian Archibald still in front, and he's extending the lead, but look at this dice for second. It's Gary Jess from Owen McNally now up and going up the inside there. Adrian McFarland, Yule Duncan coming through, and Duncan almost clips Adrian McFarland's back wheel there as they go out of clock. Tremendous stuff. Back they go down towards Swans. Duncan falling away a little bit, but Yule won't stay there. He's a real tiger. He'll try and close in again on Adrian McFarlane. Across Alexander's Gary Jess. Oh, and that's a horrible landing from Gary Jess. He almost lost the plot totally there. Oh, he felt very uncomfortable about that. Gets away with it though. No problems though for this man. Adrian Archibald snakes a little bit, just as I say that, on the braking. Jess in front of Owen McNally there as they go through. McFarlane, Duncan up alongside. Did Duncan get past or did Duncan go up the slip road? Out of bronze, it's Archibald. Now we're looking for the next group through. It's McNally, followed by Jess, followed by Donnan. And Duncan did get through. He's there in fourth. At Corby then, the leader, Archibald. Now the battle for second. Owen McNally. John Donnan comes up into third. Gary Jess is in fourth. Then it's Adrian McFarlane and Gary Jess takes the nose of John Donnan there to go back through into third as they go up the hill. Tremendous racing here. Coming through to complete another lap. Across the finish line goes Adrian Archibald. He's out in front, comfortably out in front, but look at this, dice behind him. Problems for McNally. McNally looks down at the machine as the rest of the pack go through, and is that another retirement for Owen McNally? Meantime, Archibald is through over Alexander's in the lead. Second position is Jess, third is Donnan, fourth is Duncan, and fifth is McFarland as they charge down towards Fenton's. So Owen McNally there. Whatever was wrong with the machine, it looks as though he's joining in, so Owen not out of this race yet, but at Corby again, it's Adrian Archibald, climbs the hill, checks back each time as he goes away from Corby. Who's going to be second this time? It's Donnan back in second. Gary Jess is in third, and Yule Duncan, what a ride he's having in fourth. Adrian McFarland in fifth. Down from Wade's Mill, flat out, top gear, 140 miles per hour stuff into the right-hander. Donnan leads from Jess, from Yule Duncan, from Adrian McFarland as they go up and across the line again. Meantime, we're back with the leader on the approach to Dunbuck, Adrian Archibald. There's the battle for second. Who's it going to be this time? Down they come, and it's still Gary Jess. Gary Jess from John Donnan. Yule Duncan. Oh, Yule Duncan totally misjudges the brakes. Overshoots, and for an awful moment there, I thought he was going to take John Donnan out. Here we see it again. He comes up. There's no room to squeeze through. Nudges John Donnan's elbow. John Donnan gets a little bit of a wobble on after that, and he'll breathe a sigh of relief. Here comes the leader, up past Stephen Cargo Car from Green Island, goes through, Big Stevie they call him, climbs the hill away from Corby. Archibald out in front, but all the action is behind him. Donnan still second, Gary Jess in third as they climb the hill. Down the hill again to complete another lap. Through the final two corners comes Adrian Archibald in, threading his way through the back markers there, the tail enders, and my goodness, that's close stuff as Adrian Archibald goes through there. 63, George Scott, one amongst them there. 84, Billy Hamilton at 169, Dave Williams, and they're all having their private battle there. Williams runs wide. There's the battle for second though through. The black man there, John Donnan, followed by in the red leathers, 18, Gary Jess. Stephen Carr behind, but back with the leader as he comes down towards Alexander's. Adrian Archibald goes across the little leap. John Donnan through in second position. Gary Jess through in third. No problems over Alexander's there that time for Gary. Heads down towards Fenton's. The leader meantime back at Corby Corner. Adrian Archibald through the left-hander. Donnan behind him, and they're closing in a little bit. Adrian obviously lost some time there going through the back markers. Gary Jess in third, so Adrian Archibald is within their sights. Next through, McFarland in fourth position. The leader comes down the hill again, just coming up behind another rider. He's really charging away, on his way towards his second win here. Closing up as they go through that right-hander. Donnan and Jess in second and third. Across the line, it's a second win for Adrian Archibald. John Donnan is second, Gary Jess third.
Well, Archibald certainly setting out a stall there in the Regal 600, his second win of the day. John Donnan was second, and a good result for Gary Jess, the former motocross rider, in third place. Adrian McFarland was fourth. As the riders line up for the feature race, Brian Gardner, he was forced to withdraw because of mechanical problems. But Donnan, pole position, no surprise to see Archibald beside him. And the 250s joined them in the front row. There was Gary Dines and Owen McNally.
Away they go then, up towards the hairpin for the first time in this Clough Rangers Open race. On board with Gary Dines, and Gary Dines sneaks through there on the inside of John Donnan. John Donnan, though, in the R1 Yamaha goes packed past him as they go down towards Swans. 1000 cc's versus 250 cc's, and it's 1000 cc's is winning in this run down towards Alexander's for the first time. Over the leap they go. Donnan in the lead. Gary Dines in second position. Archibald is in third. The rest of the field streaming through there and still smoking. It's Paul Cranston in the middle of the pack. Down out of Fenton's corner they come. Donnan leads. Gary Dines in second position, Archibald in third, Owen McNally in fourth, Yule Duncan in fifth position, Colin Rogers 41 in sixth spot ahead of McFarland, and then it's Jason Griffiths in eighth position. Round through O'Hara's into this tricky section underneath the trees. Donnan still in the lead, Gary Dines in second, accelerating through the left-hander, a short burst into a little right-hander, and then they go through another left-hander at Brown's Farm. The 250 machine probably better through this section of the course. Round the left-hander they go with Browns, and then it's flat out all the way over the top of the hill towards Corby. John Donnan pulling away there once he gets it straight, and Archibald goes through into second. So up to Corby they come for the first time. It's Donnan in the lead. Adrian Archibald in second position. Dines is third. McNally fourth. Yule Duncan, Colin Rogers. Adrian McFarland there next, followed by Griffiths. The rest of the pack go through. Dennis McCulloch there too, just ahead of the green machine of 95, Victor Gilmer. But Donnan comes down the hill, leading at the end of the opening lap. Leading so far, that is, because Adrian Archibald is closing as they go through the right-hander, then the left-hander. Up towards the Clough-Herpin. The lap is completed. Up out to Clough-Herpin on lap 2. John Donnan snaking on the brakes. Archibald, 2 wins so far. Can he make it to third? Dines still there in third position. McNally in fourth as they accelerate from Clough-Herpin down the hill towards the right-hander at Swans. Back at Corby, Donnan still leads, snaking on the brakes. Archibald on the Honda behind him. Gary Dines, then Owen McNally riding the 600 Honda there. Then next through, it's Yule Duncan in fifth position. Adrian McFarland in sixth. Now with Gary Dines going through over the top of the hill there at Elders, the section of the course he believes is the trickiest on the run down, and he's been blasted past there by Owen McNally. Heading through into the start-finish area. Up towards Clough-Herpin. Can Dines close again on the brakes? Donnan still leads. Archibald is second. Gary through the Herpin there. But Owen McNally still in third spot as they come down towards Alexander's. Donnan leads. Archibald is second. McNally is third. Gary Dines in the first of the 250s in fourth position. Then it's McFarland, followed by Yule Duncan. Next through on the 600 Honda. Heading down towards Fenton's. Out of Fenton's they come into Dunbot. Donnan still snaking as he breaks that machine. Sections of the course still damp here. Archibald in second, McNally third, Dines fourth, McFarland fifth, and Yule Duncan in sixth there. Seventh is Jason Griffiths. Out of Browns they come, and it's still John Donnan in the lead, but under real pressure now from Adrian Archibald. Number 13, 12 leads 13, 9 Owen McNally in third position, number 6 Gary Dines in fourth. Dines accelerates up the hill behind McNally, closes in temporarily, but the superior power of Owen McNally's machine tells as they go over the top of the hill, into the little left-hander, over the bump at Elders, then into a fast right-hander immediately afterwards. The most tricky section of the course according to the man you're riding with, Gary Dines. But here's the leader, John Donnan, back down the hill from Wades Mill. Archibald getting ready to move up alongside. Can he take him this time? We're back with Dines, and Dines being passed by another rider, and that I think is Yule Duncan has just sneaked through, or no, it's Adrian McFarland. Adrian McFarland. John Donnan, meantime, comes up into Clough-Herpin. Archibald goes through in second. McNally is third. Adrian McFarland now in fifth. McFarland goes down the hill there, trying to close in on Gary Dines. Yule Duncan next up. Back with Dines as they come down towards Alexander's. McFarland blasts past him on the R1 Yamaha. Over the top of Alexander's leap, it's John Donnan in the lead. Archibald in second, McNally in third. Tremendous pace here at the head of the field. There's Duncan going through in sixth position. Behind him, it's Jason Griffiths in seventh. At Dunbot, yet again, Donnan still manages to hold off Adrian Archibald, the Ardglass man who recently scored his first 2 wins on the road at Kells. Back with Dines as he comes out of O'Hara's, heading round towards Browns. Into the right-hander, and then the final left-hander that takes him out towards Corby, and Adrian McFarland's pulling away from him as they go through there. And as the course dries out, the bigger machines will have the advantage here. At Corby then, Archibald going for the lead. John Donnan, the foot off the rest as he drops it down the gears there. The machine slides, but still he manages to hold off Adrian Archibald. McNally third, McFarlane fourth, Dines fifth as they go over the top of the hill. Down from the hill they come. Still Donnan on the black machine leads. Adrian Archibald from Ballymoney. McNally from Coleraine in third position. McFarlane from Plumbridge in fourth. What a battle this is. Can Archibald get through? He's going for the inside line. Yes, at Clockherpin they're all over the road, but Archibald through into the lead. Adrian Archibald, the 29-year-old from Ballymoney, moves through into the lead. John Donnan behind him in second position. Owen McNally is third. Going down there, McFarlane still fourth. McFarlane now coming up to take McNally, trying to take McNally as they go through into Alexander's, and he does. Superb move there from Adrian McFarlane. Down they go towards Fans. Donnan's back in front. John Donnan back in front as they come down again. Can Archibald get through again? But Donnan's still in the lead. So Archibald had the lead briefly. Now he's back to second. McFarlane's closing in on him in third. McNally is fourth. Dines dropping away a little bit in fifth. Sturdy Parkle next through, followed by 41 Colin Rogers. Then it's Dennis McCulloch. Dennis McCulloch followed through there by 26 Alex Donaldson, and the purple helmet there to Victor Gilmer just coming into the frame. But here are the leaders at Corby. 1, 2, 3, 4 machines. Donnan, Archibald, McFarlane, McNally, and Gary Dines, the man with the camera on board, just sits behind them all and watches it. Down the hill they come, through Wades Mill. Donnan still leads. Archibald in second. McFarlane tries to go for second. Archibald, do you remember it was here he made the move last time? Can he do it again? Up to Clockherpin they come. No, Donnan has it covered. He keeps the inside line covered. Archibald's going to try and go around the outside. Out of the corner they go. Archibald switches to the inside, but still John Donnan leads. Archibald in second, Aidan McFarlane in third, McNally in fourth, and Dines in fifth. And they're coming up now to take back markers as they come down towards over Alexander's. John Donnan still in the lead. Archibald looks to get a better drive as they go down. He's moving up alongside as they go towards Fenton's. Who's going to lead as they come down to Dunbot? And it's Archibald. Kenneth McRae there been overtaken. Donnan is in second position. McFarland is third. McNally is fourth. Dines fifth. And Kenneth McRae rides well out of the way. Good stuff, Kenneth. But at Corby, it's still Archibald now in front, seeming to just pull out about a yard from John Donnan there. McFarlane third, McNally fourth, Gary Dines still fifth in the first 250 machine. McNally looks back at him as they go up over the hill towards Elders. Kenneth McRae goes through. He's been overtaken there now by Jason Griffiths. Jason Griffiths going through in sixth position. Archibald meantime come down. Another lap completed. More back markers. Andy Jackson in there. Tony Carey is in there. And he has to find a way through them. John Donnan has to find a way through as well, as do the rest of the pack as they go down towards Swans. Traffic all over the road. My goodness, this is exciting stuff. Whoever can get the break in traffic is going to pull away here. And at the moment, it looks as though it's Archibald. He gets past Tony Carey, puts another back marker between himself there. 1, 2, 6. John Donnan through in second. Donnan now coming under pressure from the other R1 Yamaha of Adrian McFarlane. The two Yamahas together. Down to Dunbot they come, Corby they go through. Up the hill from Corby, it's Archibald in front, Donnan in second position, climbing up the hill. McFarlane still in third spot, Owen McNally in fourth. Down they come from Wades Mill. Adrian Archibald goes through, Donnan is second. McFarlane through there in third, just over to take that. Looks like Dave Willems, he's just gone past, but across the line they go. The last lap flag goes out. 1 lap to go in this open race. Archibald, the man who'd never won before he came here today at this Mid-Antrim circuit. Now he's won 2. Is he going to make it 3? Still a few back markers there. That looks like Keith Shannon. He's going to come up alongside. In fact, it's Martin Finnegan's one of them. Keith Shannon just ahead there of Adrian Archibald. Donnan still charging through in second. McFarland has fallen away a little bit there in third. McNally in fourth. In behind 169 Dave Willems as they go through. So getting through, the rest of the field there has sorted them out as they come up to lap them. At Dunbot, it's Archibald just lapping Keith Stewart. Keith Shannon there too. Keith Shannon looks behind. Let's John Donnan through. Adrian McFarlane there moving up. Out of Browns they come. Up towards Corby for the last time. And at Corby, it is 13, Adrian Archibald on the 600 Tune Honda. Goes over the top of the hill, away from Corby, where his sponsor Chris Dowd crashed a number of years ago when he himself was a rider. Donnan is second as they go up that hill. Adrian McFarlane charging up there in third. Owen McNally in fourth. But coming down now from Wades into the final series of bends, the Ballymoney man, Adrian Archibald, goes through the right-hander, goes through the left-hander, and the checkered flag goes out. Another win for Archibald. Second is Donnan.
Yes, applause as the treble is completed for the man in form today, Adrian Archibald. 3 wins from 3 starts. John Donnan second, McFarlane third.
That was a very hard race there. Like John pushed hard the whole way. It was really the back markers won the race for me. I just got squeezed in below a couple, and that was it all over.
Good to see a separate 250 race at the Mid-Antrim. Dennis McCulloch in the front row, Gary Dines alongside him, and then a young Coleraine rider there, Andrew McLean. They're ready for the off.
250s then getting a run out on their own. Away they go towards Clougherpin for the first time. Gary Dines goes straight into the lead. McCulloch in second. Jeff McMullen, the first of the junior machines, there in third spot as they make their way through the left-hander. Small field of riders, but they'll be pleased to have their own race as they go down through Swans for the first time. Gary Dines in the lead, the man who has won the 250 class here at the Mid-Antrim for this past 3 years. Dennis McCulloch behind him in second. Jeff McMullen there in the 400 Yamaha, the four-stroke machine in fourth spot, followed by Andrew McLean as they all come over Alexander's Leap. Number 7 there at the tail end of the field. But down to Dunbot for the first time. It's Dines and McCulloch, the men who have dominated 250 racing in recent years, going through over the bumps down towards O'Hara's. And out of Brown, still Gary Dines in the lead, coming down from Wades for the first time, and McCulloch begins to make a move on us. McCulloch going to make it stick as he gets up the inside. Superb stuff from Dennis McCulloch. Goes through into the lead ahead of the 250 expert here at Mid-Antrim, Gary Dines. So McCulloch in front. Down to Alexander's Leap then for the second time. Gary Dines coming down, trying to close in on Dennis McCulloch. McCulloch over the top of the hill. Gary Dines goes through there. I watched there a couple of years ago, and Dines is superb through that bit of the course. McLean goes through next, followed by McMullen. Then next up it's Robert McCrum, a little bit of a wiggle from him, followed by number 8, RJ Hazelton. But up to Corby for the second time, and in the lead still Dennis McCulloch. And Dennis McCulloch's exhaust starting to shake there a little bit, so is that working itself loose? Meantime it's Gary Dines goes up the hill behind him. McCulloch on the sounding machine. 33 Andrew McLean next through, followed by Jeff McMullen, number 11. Jeff McMullen followed by RJ Hazelton, and it's number 67 Robert McCrum from Ochnacloy in the Uain Honda. Accelerates up the hill. But here's the leaders back coming through to complete the second lap. McCulloch still in the lead. Gary Dines trying to repeat the move that Dennis McCulloch did in him last time around. Can't quite manage it. McCulloch still leads. That's McLean coming down from Wades. And now we have Jeff McMullen and RJ Hazelton dicing it out for the lead of the junior class that's running concurrently going through, and it's still McMullen on the 400 Yamaha ahead of RJ Hazelton, and back with the leaders as they come down towards Alexander's on lap 3. And that exhaust of Dennis McCulloch's is definitely coming adrift. That's going to be a real problem for him. Dines there in second position. Just look as they come down here towards Dunbot. That exhaust has worked itself loose on the left hand side of the machine there as you look at it. Gary Dines will have noticed that. Gary Dines will also be trying to keep out of the way, because if that should break off and fall in front of him, that's the last thing he needs, could bring him down. But up to Corby they come. Dennis McCulloch maybe unaware that that exhaust is flapping loose. Gary Dines keeping a watching eye on it there. Will try and be over to the other side lest it should fall off. They go up the hill from Corby, heading up towards Elders, and coming down from Wades Mill. Going in, and the exhaust really working itself loose. Gary Dines goes up alongside into this right-hander. McCulloch goes through, and the exhaust appears to have come off. The exhaust came off. Dennis McCulloch is out. Gary Dines goes up the inside, so Dines, winner for the last 3 years, goes through in the lead as Dennis McCulloch goes out.
I was leading the race at the time, and I suppose going a bit down between Gary and me, it was a close race, so you don't know, but it's a fair bit easier for him whenever I'm standing here.
It certainly was, and it was indeed Gary Dines who crossed the line in first place at the end of the race. Well, there's the confirmation. Gary Dines the winner on the 250 Honda. Andrew McLean in second place, Robert Hazelton in third. But Dines, he was pleased to see the 250 riders out in their own race.
A separate 250 race is the only way to run a 250 race. I mean, you just cannot run it in amongst those big bikes the way they've been trying to all year. I mean, I hope the powers that be are realising that, you know.
Even though at the end of the day we only had about 9 or 10 finishers.
Well, there's as many 250s in the big class as there is big bikes in it, so it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
In the support race run earlier in the day, it was Gary Jess, bike number 18 here, who took the honours with a convincing 23-second win over the second place man Victor Gilmer. Seamus Green was third, Keith Stewart was fourth. In fifth place it was Martin Finnegan, and sixth, completing the lineup there, Stephen Thompson. In the classics, Carl Wilkie on a 7.50 triumph, bike number 1 here, and almost lapping some back markers. He took the checkered flag ahead of Gordon Bell on a 500 Sealy. Colin Rogers on the 350 Honda was 3rd, with Wallace Seawright in 4th place. 5th place, it was John Scott on the BSA Rocket. Ian Boyd was 6th. In the last race of the day, the second Regal 600, Adrian Archibald was to make history at the Mid-Antrim. This was his 4th win of the day. He took the race ahead of Owen McNally in 2nd place. John Donnan took 3rd, and further down the field, Gary Jess was having a good day in 4th. Yule Duncan was 5th. Brian Farquhar, number 77 on the McAdoo Honda, still looking for his first win in the road. He was 6th, and those behind included Brian Gardner. But all the honours, all the applause went to the man riding bike number 13, Adrian Archibald. What a day for him as we see confirmation of the result, his 4th win of the day and history. No one has ever done that before, and he was a very happy man.
Really well, please. Can't believe it, on it.
You're the first man in the history of this famous race to do that.
Yeah, well, I heard them saying a few people had done a treble, but yeah, it's great.
Which race in particular gave you the greatest satisfaction?
The Mid-Antrim 150 race was a hard race along with John Donnan. It was on the bigger bikes, so I really had to push hard to beat them there.
You've got a good cushion in the Rico Championship now.
Coming into today, there's only a few points in it, but that's really what I needed today.
Well, who said 13 was unlucky? Not for Adrian Archibald today. This is a bit hard in the ears. And yes, sir, it's been a long, long day at Clough, but no doubt about the man of the meeting.